Uppercut, uppercut, sonic boom!
Welcome to the most up-to-date 2025 grip guide for PUBG Mobile. This is all freshly tested this week after update 4.0. It includes the percentage bases for all the grips, how much horizontal, how much vertical recoil. I'm also going to go into depth about some of the other factors that you might not know about with these grips. I will touch a little bit on the hip fire variabilities and the single tap variabilities. And at the end of the video, I'm going to take a look, a special look at the M416 in the AUG and explain to you what you're probably doing wrong with your recoil reduction decisions on those weapons. If you're wondering what I've been up to get all this stuff, like especially the single, this is an example. This is a full auto SKS with an 8X on it, broken down for the ergo, the half, and the light grip, analyzing reload stability, firing stability, reload recovery, all kinds of things. That's for the single tap video, but I will be touching on some of this as we go forward. Please remember to like and subscribe so I get a little bit more encouragement to do some more of these videos, because I think they're incredibly important, but they are also, I don't know if you know this, incredibly difficult to do. I had to basically measure all the pixels for I did multiple grip measurements for each one. So I'd spray for 30 rounds. I would measure the distance between each individual pixel. I would record that as a horizontal and a vertical differentiation. And I did that twice for each grip. So that's 60 individual measurements for every grip, plus a whole bunch of other stuff that I don't want to get into. Let's kick it off first and foremost with the laser grip, which isn't really a grip, it's more of a lower rail attachment, but be that as it may, we're doing that one first. Now there is, much like my muzzle attachment video, a discovery we made was that you put a grip on the gun, you immediately get a 5% reduction to horizontal recoil. For some guns it's a little more, for some guns it's a little less, but that's just because of the margin of error that we're testing with. If we did 1,000 data points, it would get a lot closer to 5%. But it's not the big numbers you're going to get from some of the later guns. Also, the reticle on the left with a laser is clearly much, much better for hipfire. You can see that that circle, which is the hipfire area, is far smaller than it is for the weapon on the right, which was the ergonomic grip. And we will be doing a full hipfire video, but it's also interesting that it takes 1.5 seconds for any grip to get to full bloom in hipfire, as in the biggest size it'll possibly get to. And that doesn't matter whether you're starting at a smaller number or less. So the laser sight right off the bat is so much better for hipfire, because that first 1.5 seconds, as it slowly expands to full bloom, it's still much smaller and accelerating slower than the larger reticle bloom that you're getting out of any other grip. So 5% horizontal recoil and the absolute undisputed king of hipfire. There will be a whole hipfire video coming, lads. Don't worry about that. Meanwhile, we're going to talk a little bit about the thumb grip, which has a bonus to aiming speed, which is its big selling point. It has a vertical recoil management component and a reload stability component. Now, you get the same 5% benefit to horizontal recoil control that you get with the laser. You also get about 8% on your vertical recoil. That may be 10%, but I'm not going to go and measure another 300 rounds just so that we can know whether it's 8 or 10. What you need to understand is that a lot of these numbers are going to be things that give you a good idea on what to expect, and they more or less grade the grip into a set place on the leaderboard. But I would not be surprised if this went up to 10% if I kept pushing the data. The other thing it talks about is the ADS speed, and that's very, very true. It has a wonderful ADS speed bonus of 30%. Now, that means that you can use this grip specifically with guns that really struggle with vertical recoil, that you also want to get ADSing. So something like a barrel or an ace would go okay with this grip, because you're going to be using those guns at about the 20 to 30 meter range in an ADS capacity a lot. You're not going to hip fire a lot with an Ace 32. You're wasting your time. It's got a horrible hip fire spread. I'm not giving anything away on that. So a thumb grip is going to be the kind of grip you can get away with a lot for those things. It's also pretty good with your single tap guns, like an SKS, a Mark 12, anything like that. You're going to get the bonus to the ADS speed. So if you do want to use it in the 30 to 40 meter range, you can do that. And you're going to get a little bit of horizontal recoil into the bargain. Next up was the most disappointing grip for me out of all the grips I tested. This is the light grip. It gets the same 5% horizontal recoil bonus that you get just for, you know, it's like the participation award. You're going to get 5% recoil off just for turning up. But it got nothing in terms of vertical recoil control, which was really disappointing. And even more than that, I tested this neck and neck with a half grip as a spray. I'll show you this video now because I think it's really important for you to see this. This is the half grip on the left and the light on the right. And what you're seeing here is recoil recovery, which the half grip has. It already, and spoiler alert, I'll do the half grip after this one, but it's got better horizontal recoil control. Mad hops on the horizontal recoil control. But you can see how it's dipping. That's the recoil recovery component of the half grip, which is the only grip that has recoil recovery. It's better than the light grip by far when spraying. And when I finish my single tap testing, I have a very strong feeling that it is going to be better than the light grip, even in single tap testing. And I'm not going to go too far down that road right now, but suffice to say that the negative of the half grip and the positive of the light grip, which is reload stability, doesn't seem to affect the overall outcome of horizontal and vertical recoil control. The light grip, disappointing overall as a spray. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the half grip here because this for me was the most surprising grip of the whole lot. And I think the reason this grip has fallen out of fashion for me and a lot of other content creators is because of that negative reload stability. But let's be honest, put your hands up if you know what reload stability is. Because I've done a lot of testing and I've tested down to the pixel and I can't find where the negative feature is coming in for this gun. It certainly isn't in reload stability because every weapon I tested resets in 0.15 seconds to a flat reload stability weapon, regardless of the grip it's got on. And I've got a sneaking suspicion that this is just something that has been on the grip tooltip, but has never actually affected it. Because horizontal recoil of 15% and vertical recoil of 8% is massive. Not to mention, it is the only grip that has recoil recovery factored in, which helps instead of hinders your single tap gameplay. For me, the half grip was the big surprise and a grip that I think you should run a lot more on your spray weapons. It's got more horizontal recoil control than the next grip, which is the ergonomic grip. Now, it was interesting to me because I've often run the ergonomic as a preference over the half and the angled. But I've rethunk my preferences right now. I'm going to show you a couple of clips in a tick that kind of give you an idea on where my headspace is at. But the ergonomic is the all-rounder. It was the second best in terms of vertical recoil control at 12%, and it was the third best in horizontal recoil control. Although you could make a case that possibly if we tested another 1,000 data points, it might get to 15% like the half grip, or the half grip might fall to 13%. But I tested 60 data points and I got 13 and 15%. So if I don't go with my numbers, then what's the point of doing the video in the first place? And for me, that means that it's just an all-rounder. You can use this grip for anything. You can use it for single tapping, you can use it for hip fire, you can use it for spraying with an M416. It's got a whole bunch of stuff going for it. But it doesn't have an ADS speed bonus like the thumb grip. If you're looking for something that's particularly good for 30 meter ADS is really, really quick, like putting it on a UMP or something like that. And it does not have, as far as I could see and tell, any kind of special recoil recovery bonus. Now, let's move on and have a little chat about what some people call the must-have grip of PUBG Mobile, and I've never understood it. And I'm talking about the vertical grip. There are certainly guns where your vertical recoil is insane. For instance, an M762 has bonkers vertical recoil, and you do get a lot of value out of the vertical foregrip in that instance. But you'd be far better off running an ergonomic grip, which is also going to give you a really solid amount of horizontal recoil control. And I'd even run a half grip over a vert, because horizontal is way harder to deal with than vertical. Even with high vertical recoil weapons, you can just drag your thumb down and you're going to be okay. There is a case for this as a single tap recoil control grip, and I will make that case when we do the single tap recoil control video, which may well happen next week. Make sure you like and subscribe for more info on that one. But for me, the star of the show and the grip that I would run 99% of the time is this grip here. The angled. This is an angled grip and a flash hider. And look at it. That's 150 meters. And I'm standing. I'm not crouching. I'm just standing and lasering these guys. The angle grip also gets a 15% ADS speed bonus. I can't stress enough how unimportant vertical recoil control is compared to horizontal recoil control. You can clearly see in those clips that the most important part of the game is horizontal recoil control. And I said I'd talk about some special cases at the end of this video, and we're going to have a little chat about them right now. Understanding the numbers on these grips and the attachments means that you can make some decisions that actually help you with your gameplay. This is an M416. I am standing and spraying at 250 meters. I am running an ergonomic grip. I am running a heavy stock, and I'm running a barrel extender. Now, I am not busting my ass to get the best possible recoil reduction out of my muzzle attachment, because I'm getting so much recoil reduction from the heavy stock that coupling it with an ergonomic is just fine. Like, look at how easy I'm spraying these guys down with an M4. And you use the ergonomic grip and the heavy stock for your recoil reduction, and then you use the barrel extender to put more damage on your M416. You can do the same thing with the AUG. You can do the same thing with the ACE-32. The ACE-32 can run a heavy stock and an angled grip if you want, although the ergonomic grip is the perfect grip for the ACE-32 because it does have some specific issues with vertical recoil control. My point is, if you understand, go and watch the muzzle attachment video, watch this video, and then start making decisions where you sort your recoil out to the point where it's controllable enough. You're going to need to sort your sensitivity out, sure, but there's no need for you to be running muzzle brake, angled grip, heavy stock on an M416 when the barrel extender exists, because look, it's a noob cannon. It's not like you're going to have any struggles whatsoever. Like, I'm running an AKM here and I'm having no problems. None. Awesome. It's just crazy. I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope it helped you with your gameplay. Please remember to like and subscribe. Send it to your friends. Share it. These videos take a long time to make, and I would appreciate the more people watch it. Just gives me a little thrill. Look after yourselves. Stay safe in the battlefield. And as always, bye for now.